Welcome back to another explainer. Look, if you're the kind of person who loves tearing into the anatomy of a well-oiled machine, well, you're in exactly the right spot today. We are going to totally crack open the blueprint of a top-tier home service contractor. Actually, scratch that. We'll be using Smart Housing Systems, Inc. as our ultimate case study to figure out exactly how a modern home emergency fortress is built, structured, and executed.
So picture this. It is 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. The temperature outside is, plunging way below freezing, and suddenly you hear it. Literally the worst sound a homeowner can hear, rushing water in the basement. Maybe your furnace just died, or a pipe straight up burst. In that chaotic, completely sleep-deprived moment of universal panic, who do you actually call? Who do you trust when the stakes are suddenly sky high and the water is rising by the minute?
And man, right here is where the dread really sets in. Most of us face an absolute nightmare scenario at this exact moment. You're scrambling on your phone in the pitch dark, trying to dodge the anxiety of hidden emergency fees, unqualified handymen who might just slap a Band-Aid on it and make the whole thing worse, and that endlessly frustrating call for a quote runaround. You just need immediate help. Relying on a cheap, quick fix during a full-blown emergency instead of a real structured solution? Yeah, that's just a recipe for long-term disaster.
Okay, let's dive right into this because there is an exact antidote to that midnight panic. Meet Smart Housing Systems, Inc. They operate out of Highland Park, Illinois, under the super visible brand Emergency Plumbing. They've been at this since 2015, and looking at their source data, they haven't just built your standard run-of-the-mill plumbing company. No way. They have engineered a literal fortress against domestic disasters. Honestly, they're the absolute perfect case study in how to structure emergency home services the right way.
Just consider the sheer scope of this operation. They are essentially the Swiss Army knife of home services. We are talking everything from standard plumbing and water heaters to high-pressure hydrojetting and video inspections for sewers and drains, plus full HVAC, heating and air conditioning, and even heavy-duty yard excavation services for when a storm line totally fails. Get this, they even do medical and laboratory plumbing, like installing emergency eyewash stations and acid waste piping. Finding a single team capable of handling a basic toilet install and medical-grade lab plumbing or tearing up a yard for a sewer replacement, that's incredibly rare and massively valuable.
And that brilliantly illustrates the ultimate relief for a homeowner. One company, every system. Just imagine the stress of a flooded basement that ends up ruining your furnace. Normally, you're calling a plumber to stop the water, a water-damaged crew to clean up the mess, and a totally separate HVAC tech to replace the heater. You're juggling 3 different contractors during a crisis. But with a model like this, one team covers the whole shebang. It is seamless, it's structured, and it is incredibly efficient.
But hey, having a massive catalog of services means absolutely nothing without the credentials to back it up. Let's meticulously unpack this credibility stack. We've got their State of Illinois plumbing license, a specific plumbing contractor license, an HVAC EPA certification, and an electrical contractor license. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that this isn't just some handyman guessing at your wiring or your gas lines. Trusting a fully licensed quadruple threat expert is your ultimate defense against shoddy, unpermitted workmanship. Stuff that could literally void your homeowner's insurance, or worse, put your family at risk.
Let's keep moving and see how this builds upon their service model by looking at their actual hardware. Because they don't just patch up broken pipes, they upgrade your home's entire ecosystem. We're talking about contrasting the standard, outdated gas heaters and basic setups of the past with a massive push toward high-efficiency smart tech. They are replacing the old with the absolute cutting edge to completely future-proof the home. Now, what's really fascinating about this specific tech arsenal is how it actually prevents emergencies before they even happen. It's a totally proactive, intelligent setup. They install tankless Navion and Bosch heaters for endless, super-efficient hot water. But the real magic, that's in the preventative tech. Things like Mowing Flow's smart water monitors that can automatically shut off your main water valve if they detect a leak. They use Wi-Fi-enabled Zoller backup sump pumps that instantly send an alert right to your phone if the water rises. Oh, and Grundfosse's Scala 2 booster pumps for perfect, consistent water pressure. This is all about giving the homeowner total control and visibility. And here is the absolute game changer. I seriously love this part. In an industry absolutely notorious for opaque pricing, those shady "we'll tell you when we get there" tactics, and surprise hidden costs, Smart Housing Systems puts their labor price range right out in the open on a literal menu.
Check this out. An investigation fee is a flat $150. A toilet installation runs between $200 and $350. Drain line cleaning, that's $250 to $450. Installing a backup sump pump is $300 to $550. And water heater labor, up to 50 gallons, is $750 to $1,000. Displaying a menu like this instantly eliminates the fear of price gouging during a super vulnerable moment. It is radical, totally satisfying transparency.
Of course, to execute this properly, to offer all these services at these transparent prices, you need massive logistical capability. Achieving this level of reliability requires immense scale. They serve more than 35 communities across the North Shore and northwest suburbs of Chicago. From Arlington Heights all the way to Winnetka, they have the fleet and the manpower to deploy highly trained, multi-licensed technicians across a vast geographical footprint, and they do it without losing an ounce of quality.
And really, it all comes down to this: 24/7. This represents the ultimate peace of mind. Their dispatchers are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Yep, holidays included. When that pipe bursts at midnight on Christmas Eve, you aren't getting some automated answering machine telling you to call back during business hours. You are getting a rapid response from a master contractor.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to turn the focus back to you and leave you with this provocative thought to ponder. If disaster struck your home tonight, are you actually prepared? Do you have a reactive, fragmented list of random numbers to call, just crossing your fingers and hoping one of them answers? Or do you have a single, transparent, multi-licensed master contractor on speed dial? Building a smart, secure home isn't just about the cool gadgets you buy, it's about the team you trust to keep it all running. Thanks for exploring this blueprint with me today. And hey, make sure your own home defense is as solid as the one we just broke down.